Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Ross G back at it again. I want to thank everybody that that liked, subscribed, watched, and shared. My little YouTube debut. I think that's dope. I really didn't expect the feedback that I got. It's day three and it's got maybe over 200 listens. Not a lot to some people. It's a start for me, so I greatly appreciate y'all. All right, now, like I said, my whole reason for really being here is just to take the news and the current events that these outlets are giving you and break it down to where it's consumable for you and you can retain the information. Okay, because everybody may not understand the terminology that they're using on CNN or MSNBC, or they may not have the time or the attention span to sit there and watch the news for 2 or 3 hours to figure out what's going on in the world. So allow me to be that funnel and that bridge for you to get that information. All right. As long as y'all keep liking and subscribing, that's what I'm gonna do. All right. Now let's get into it. Ketanji Brown Jackson. All right. This is big. She is the first black woman to be nominated as a Supreme Court justice. Long overdue. All right. In 2022. But this is something that Biden said he was going to do, and he's kept up his end of the deal. Just to kind of give you guys a scope of how big this is. Once you become a Supreme Court justice, you cannot lose your job. Okay, you either have to retire or you can die. Okay, only way you lose that job. All right. So when you look at it and you see they got people that 70, 80, sometimes they 90 something years old. She's gonna be there for a while. Okay. So it's a huge honor. Harvard Law. She's got family, that have been police officers, teachers. She's got, an uncle that's doing life right now. Okay, because he got caught up in the drug game. So she's seen all sides of it. She's been a public defender. On the federal side, I know some of us kind of look down upon that, but I can tell you that, I know personally a judge that got her start as a public defender. Lawyers, solicitors, a lot of these, hot shot guys, they get their starts as public defenders. So it's not always a bad thing. I would still recommend a private attorney if you find yourself in a sticky situation. But not all public defenders are slack, okay? And this is just more proof of that, all right? She's been a judge, in the DC area for a long time. I think, being a judge in a major city with major crime, having to hand out major sentences, it's definitely a good, good thing to have on your resume. When you're going for a position like that. She's also been a federal judge for 10 years. So she's got everything that you need. She got the sprinkles, the cherry on top. She got all of that, all right? So I don't see her not getting the spot. The Senate has the final say. The Democrats, run the Senate with Kamala breaking the tie. I don't see how anybody could deny this woman. Her resume is just really impeccable. And, with her being a public defender and with her being a younger black woman, it's going to give the Supreme Court a different lens and somebody that can see things from a different vantage point. And I think that's important. Your cousin who got caught with the bricks, but they weren't really his case ain't going to the Supreme Court. Those aren't the cases that they deal with. You need to get him, a better lawyer. They deal with cases that have a lasting impact for, 50, 75 years from now. Okay. Like for instance, one that is on the docket now for them to hear is cake shop owner doesn't want to make cake for gay couple that wants to get married. Gay couple says discrimination. Cake shop owner says freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Okay, so you can see how something as minute as a cake, something as small as a wedding cake, all right, can have major implications down the line when you're talking about freedom of speech, freedom of religion, when you're talking about discrimination. The decision in a case like that will have a trickle down effect that's going to affect a lot of different groups of people, including black people. Okay. Those are the kind of cases that they rule on. All right. So stop wondering why they won't hear your cousin Pookie case. It's not happening. It's just not. Okay. You need to get him a really good lawyer. Let's give you guys an update on the Ukraine situation. Okay. Now, Biden has approved $350 million, okay, to go to Ukraine. That's will come in the form of guns, armor, ammo, anti-tank rockets, Scud missiles, okay. They're sending all of that to Ukraine. I don't know how they're going to do it because Russia controls the airspace right now, but I guess they're going to funnel it, through another country or whatever. The Ukrainian people are putting up a fight. I think it surprised Russia. It surprised me. I would say I didn't, not that I didn't expect them to put up a fight, but I didn't expect them to be, as effective at keeping, Russia at bay. And while, Zelensky, who is the president, he's actually was a former comedian and actor, which is, kind of crazy. And now he's the president, carrying arms, fighting with his countrymen. That's just kind of wild. But I mean, it's inspiring to see, them standing up and not letting Russia just run over them. Okay. Now I do feel that, without outside support, which they're starting to get, it's going to be, it's going to be difficult to beat Russia or to keep them at bay when they're coming at them from, 4 or 5 different sides of the country. They're coming from the sea. They're coming from, the side, the top. They coming from all different directions. Okay. To really zero in on the capital of Kyiv. Okay. Now, other countries, without putting boots on the ground, they are, really trying to put pressure on Russia. The SWIFT network, which is a banking network that allows, a lot of countries to do, efficient transactions. They have kicked them out of that network. Okay. Russia has a lot of money in overseas banks. In the U.S., we've frozen those accounts. You can't get that money. All right. Canada has banned any Russian travel. You know what I'm saying? If you going back to Russia or you on a Russian plane or you trying to come to Canada, you can't come. Europe has banned really any travel in their airspace as far as Russian planes, whether it be civilian, or otherwise. So the pressure, okay, is mounting with Russia. It's really like, kind of the world versus Russia figuratively. Everybody is speaking out against it. NATO is speaking out against it. And clearly it has frustrated Putin because he has started mentioning nukes, okay? Which, nukes spook everybody because, we saw what the atom bomb did with Hiroshima, and the nukes now are 100 times more powerful. So the fallout from that is going to be a worldwide event, okay? So I don't know whether he's just not in his right mind talking like that, or whether he is just, highly frustrated that it's taking a little bit more time and effort, for Russia to really breach the defenses, of the Ukrainian people in Kyiv. Ukraine has made it to where, if you're a male and you're between the ages of 18 and 60, you cannot leave the country. You got to stay and fight. All right. So, they just need the arms to do it. U.S. is trying to make that happen. Also, I don't know whether this was a Russian dignitary or who, but he reached out to Elon Musk and said, Elon, we need to use Starlink. Okay. People ask what Starlink is. So Starlink is basically a satellite internet connection. Okay. The regular internet connection that we all know and use is a bunch of cables that run on the ocean floor. Okay. There's about 400 of them worldwide. They stretch thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of miles. Okay. And lead into whatever terminals and split off into your home. Okay. Russia has jammed that signal. Starlink allows Ukraine to be able to have communication with different countries by giving them that internet access. Okay. You can't be in a war without any kind of communication. Okay. So, they're going to need that to be able to get goods into the country. They're going to need that to be able to get people out of the country. Okay. You see kind of a humanitarian crisis at the borders. over 150,000 people are trying to leave Ukraine. Okay, they don't want to be there. It's a war zone. All right. So, and in countries like Poland and some other neighboring countries have been, welcoming. I think, I'm gonna say this. It may not go over too well, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I think that what is happening in Ukraine is really tugging at the heartstrings of the international community because they look like them. Ukraine is not a third world country. Okay, these people that are making this exit, that are trying to leave, do not look poor and have on ragtag shirts, and they're just carrying their baby and don't have they have luggage. They got Nike. They got North Face on. I mean, they look like regular suburban people in like Minnesota somewhere or something. So I think that that is something that really is appealing to the international community. And your average refugee usually looks like me. I mean, those are just the facts. You know what I'm saying? When you hear refugee, you think of people of color. You think of people that don't hardly have anything with them. That is your normal view of the refugee, and it's usually just a blip on the screen. We've seen it happen in Africa and other countries, and it just doesn't seem to be that much of a big deal. So that's just interesting to me. Just an observation I made. It's not fact. That's just what I'm seeing. All right. Also, BP has has taken their resources out of Russia. Okay. Which is big when you're talking about fracking and processing petroleum and all of that for Russia to sell. And at the end of the day, so they're trying to put all this economic pressure on Russia. So it's really Russia versus everybody, figuratively. But literally, it's still Russia versus Ukraine. Okay. We will see how long Ukraine can hold out, if they can hold out until the extra arms and artillery gets there. We'll see what happens. All right. This went a little bit longer than I expected, but look, anybody that if y'all know somebody, man, that does like intros or any type of visuals or something like that, man, like, drop it in the comments or something. I want to spruce up the channel a little bit, man. I want it to look like something, So I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. It's your boy, man, Ross G, in a minute.